It is time, once again, to lock your doors, shut your windows, strap yourself into your favorite comfy chair, and tune out and tune into The Naked Zombie.
G'day and welcome to another fantastic episode of The Naked Zombie. I'm your host Brad Scott, and joining me in the far, far reaches, far away across Brisbane and all the flooded waters that is what we are facing at the moment, is Liam Baker. Hello Liam.
How are you tonight?
Mate, well I'm wet. No, I'm not wet. Not wet. Anyway, as people probably know this, at the moment we were going through some flooding in Brisbane thanks to all the rain that we're getting now. It's heading down south to New South Wales at the moment. Bundaberg and all those places around there are actually copping a pizzling. The north side of Bundaberg is basically isolated and half it's been washed away. So, you know, fingers crossed and all the best for the people there, because my in-laws are there at the moment and they're doing it pretty tough. They've lost a lot of stuff and that, but that's not the reason why we're doing the show tonight, but we just want to put it out there. Wish them all the best for everyone. And hope, you know, everyone gets through it and stuff like that. And please send your thoughts and prayers to people of Queensland who are suffering a lot more than what we are at the moment. Isn't that right, buddy?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So a lot of people up north, you know, and also down south in northern New South Wales that are doing it pretty rough at the moment too. So
yes, it's crap. Anyway, what we're going to do is we've got a few things to talk about tonight. So we're going to start doing a regular Tuesday night show. We're going to do a Wednesday night show in the next couple of weeks. And of course, they'll make a debate on a Thursday night. Just to let people know out there that young Andrew is taking a leave of absence from Naked Zombie Radio for a little while. He's got a lot going on at the moment. He's growing up, our young Andrew, isn't he?
he is.
He's becoming a big boy. He's leaving the nest. That's right. So Andrew's asked for leave of absence, but he's very much still part of the show. He's actually going to be working on the website for us at the back door end of things, just to make everything run a bit smoother and stuff like that. So, yay for us.
Yeah, and doing a bang up job of it as well. So
he is doing it, and also just want to thank. Before we get on tonight's show, I just want to thank Reanimated. They, as people have seen the radio show, they would have seen the new logo that was done for us. Now, that came totally out of the blue. It was a group of people who love listening to The Naked Zombie, who are big supporters of ours. They spent so much time and energy designing a new logo for us. It was that zombie chick. And everyone who's heard the show has seen it. It's amazing. And to have someone do that for you, totally out of the blue, totally unexpected. I just cannot thank them personally enough. Wolf and that for doing that amazing job. Isn't it fantastic, mate?
No, they've done an absolutely fantastic job of it. So yeah, very, very impressive indeed.
Yes, it's friggin' awesome. Anyway, so Tuesday nights is going to be spooky ass story nights, and this is where we want you folks to help us out. We want to start reading your paranormal experiences on a Tuesday night. Like, you write into us with your story and we'll read them out. Either send it to me or the Liam by the Haunts of Brisbane or through the Naked Zombie fan site, or via email at brad@scott.com. And we want to hear your stories. No, you don't have to put your name to it. No, we don't want stories that are made up. We want your real actual events. And we're going to talk about our events tonight and what me and Liam have experienced doing things separately and doing things together, because we do tend to spend too much time together, so our wives reckon.
Yeah. We're getting suspicious, Brad. Quick.
You think?
They're starting to talk.
So is half of the people who listen to the radio show too. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that, but before we get on to our particular stories, I just want to say, if people would know this, but I actually emceed the Southern Cross Tattoo Club's Tattoo Festival on Australia Day. And Southie was meant to come and do the radio show, but because everything was going pear-shaped with the weather and that, he had his hands full. But him and the boys, some of the boys from the Tattoo Club, are coming in. Those big bikey dudes are coming into the studio to actually have a chat with us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But it was an amazing night. I literally worked from, I think I got there about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't leave there till about after 10. I went all day. The guys were brilliant, absolutely amazing. The bands were just phenomenal. I'm getting some of the bands on the show to play a bit of live music for us.
Excellent.
And Sons of the Soil, they're going to be here. They're a lovely bunch of guys, and these guys are our age, dude. They rock harder than a lot of these young ones, if you know what I mean. Seriously, but for guys who are my age and older, who can still pump it out and just have an amazing sound. Oh God, I was just on a high all night, and I must say that one of the highlights of that night was the swinging dude. Yeah, so if you've seen a little video of it, there's his girlfriend. She's sort of got hooks. These hooks are massive, dude. They're like 8-0 hooks. They're like shark hooks. She's got them through her back, through her legs, through her hips or something, and they've got her strung up on this rope, and she's just doing laps. And I'm standing on stage. The crowd's just going wild, and at the first part of it, I was so gobsmacked, I didn't know what to say. I was standing there going, what the fuck is this? I just couldn't get. I'm just like staring at all this blood and stuff. I'm going, what? Oh, then I realised I was up on stage trying to MC this thing, and I'm just like, I had nothing. I didn't know what to do or say. It was amazing. It was scary. But anyway, so then we had the swinging dude himself go up, and he actually had these massive hooks through his back, and he was swinging backwards and forwards off this rope while D9, the band, was playing. And my God, it was phenomenal, dude. Absolutely phenomenal. It was, but that's not the only thing. The guys were great. The people were wonderful. Mind you, I did feel a little bit out of place at first because I'm such a big nerd around all these big bikey blokes. But I tell you what, they were the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet, and they just were so supportive. The crowd was supportive. We were having a great time, and I was dishing shit out on these blokes, left, right, and centre. You know, I was just giving them such a hard time, but they were loving every minute of it. You know what I mean? And they were just lapping it up. Oh,
yep. Didn't hold you down and give you a butterfly tattoo across your lower back or anything?
Maybe. No butterfly tattoos. No tattoos. The wife made sure that was quite clear. That was not allowed to happen, but that's all right. Anyway, so just want to thank the guys for having me. Look, and folks out there, if you want myself, Liam, or anyone from the Naked Zombie to come out and MC or be a part of your event, you know what to do. Just go to the contacts page. I think we've got another one coming up in September. Is that correct? That Watsy was talking about?
Yeah, so another one. Yeah, coming through in a little while. So.
Yeah, we got to do a ghost evening or something, like a little paranormal event or something, isn't it? Where's that been held at?
So that one's going to be down at Mount Tambourine. So I'm actually quite looking forward to that. So especially given the place has got a reputation, or has had a reputation for being fairly haunted for quite some time now. So.
And also Mount Tambourine is also renowned for the Yowie, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit of a bag down that way. So good. I think they get UFO sightings down that way too, don't they, on Mount Tambourine?
Mate, they get all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff down that way. So I think around September, but Judy is going to get in contact with us. Wadsy's organising that one for us. Like I said, so if you've got an event you wish us to be a part of, look, at the end of the day, we don't charge to go and do these things at all. You know, we were happy to do it. MC work's a bit different because I have to spend all day there. But if you want us to come along with that, and if you want us there, the only thing we ask, if it's outside our local area, that you just put us up in accommodation, pay for our flights. I think that's fairly reasonable, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we got to take holidays and everything.
Awesomeness.
Oh, the awesomeness. Anyway, so that's enough of that. So tonight on The Zombie, we are going to talk about our little spooky adventures that we've had growing up and stuff like that. Now, Liam, this is what I want people to basically do. I want people to write into us and tell us their stories, and we're going to read them out. And
Absolutely.
and we're going to do this every Tuesday night. It doesn't matter if it's to do with UFOs or cryptozoology or the paranormal, ghosts, poltergeist activity, creepy guy who lives next door to you, keeps spying you through your bathroom window. Yeah, we want to hear your creepy ass stories. And there's so many people who have had experiences out there that probably don't want to tell who they... You don't have to give us your name or anything like that. If you say, look, we'd rather not tell you who we are, but we just want to get our story out there, we're happy to do that as well. And you'll find that sometimes when you do get it out there, it makes you, because of what the people comment and stuff like that, you're not alone. I mean, there are a lot of other people who go through different sorts of things as well. Isn't that right, mate?
Yep. No, that's absolutely right. And, so a lot of the time, people can be complete, sort of cynics and non-believers too until they have that one experience. So, it's amazing the number of people out there who have stories, even if it's a one-off or repeated stories of things that they've experienced.
Yes, and that's right. Oh, and another thing I was meant to... Should we mention the special thing now, or should we wait later on during the show? Do it later on during the show. Yeah, you want to do it now?
No, do it later.
Oh, do it later, yeah. You're just going to sit there and wait. All right, so, Liam, I'm going to let you start tonight because I always seem to be doing most of the talking. So, mate, as one of my dearest friends and cohort in the whole industry and what we do, I'm going to interview you in a certain way. How did it all start for you? What was your first experience, Liam Baker, when you were a young fella, if you were actually a fella? Because I don't know, you could have had an operation in between that time. I've got no idea. What was your defining moment as a young bloke that just blew you away when it came to the field?
I think probably nothing when I was really, really young. But definitely I moved out of home when I started at university, and moved into a house over at Indooroopilly. And within a very, very short period of time of moving into that house, things weren't quite right. Just queer little things that were happening. And at that stage, it was still a fairly old house that was sort of fitted out with a big house that sort of fitted out with sort of 1940s-y kind of style fittings, and 1960s it was all a bit of a mishmash. But the owners were deciding that they wanted to renovate, and that was part of the deal, that the rent would be cheap as long as I gave them a hand renovating it and sort of changing the walls around and doing all the landscaping. And the more the house got renovated and the more sort of work and activity that was going on as part of those renovations, the more weird stuff started to happen in the house. And that went through for probably 5 or 6 months of the renovating, but it wasn't really until the house was completed that I guess, the real sort of activity started. And it started quite sort of rapidly out of the blue, but things like laying in bed at night time, and it was all completely wood floors, and there was a hallway that ran from the bedroom door right to the other end of the house, and probably about 30 or 40 metres long. And you get woken up in the middle of the night by footsteps, and they'd start off quite slow and quiet, but then get more and more rapid into a run down the wooden hallway, and thump, 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 and then stop dead right on the other side of the bedroom door. And that went for probably a month or so, and which everyone in the house thought was quite bizarre, but I guess no one really sort of questioned it that much, until one night the stereo and TV turned themselves on at full blast at about midnight, and I came running to the bedroom thinking that someone had broken in, and saw a big figure jump up and over the kitchen counter and duck down behind the counter. So I bolted up into the kitchen and flicked all the lights on, and absolutely nothing there. I guess that was pretty much the big defining moment that really piqued my interest in the paranormal and ghosts. And from there on, I guess everyone else who lived in the house too, we pretty much just accepted that we had someone else who was living there, that wasn't full-bodied like we were, and
That's no excuse for not paying rent. You know that, don't you?
I know. Yeah, we probably.
Come on. I mean, they use electricity turning shit on, man. I mean, they need to pay this shit.
Yeah, that's it. Some kind of
ghost dollars. Sorry. Isn't that unreal? I mean, these are exactly right. when you go through that experience for the first time, especially in this sort of industry, and you're always sort of chasing these shadows and chasing this mystery and why things happen and stuff like that. Most people, look, seriously, dude, I'm waving a big Bowie knife around them. I don't know why. I'll put it down. Getting off psycho. But yeah, it's amazing how when people first experience these events, they either do two things. They shit themselves, pack up and move out, or they accept it, if you know what I mean. So, and that's the thing. There's this line where you're going to go one way or the other. You know, it was similar for me in a lot of aspects when I was a young bloke. Like my events happened a lot earlier in life. I don't remember much about the 74 floods. I was only about 3, but I do remember the house we moved into, the old house in 1950s housing in Mission House, and the amount of things that, you know, we used to all see walking up and down the hallway, and these black mists of figures and stuff like that at an age of 4 or 5, you know. And my little sister, you know, she was only 10 months old, and she grew up with that, thinking that was normal, where I was that little bit older thinking I got very little sleep as a kid. I can guarantee you that much right now. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, every night, I'd lay there just looking up the friggin' hallway, and there'd always be something walking up and down, or there'd always be footsteps, or there'd always be something happening in the house. You know, it was either the stereo turning itself on and off, and we're talking the old push button stereos. You know, the old record players, not these iPods and shit. I mean, we're talking the 70s. Yeah, all the 70s stuff, you know. It's like the black and white TV with the push-pull button. You used to hear it click on and click off, and all this weird shit would just happen. But, yeah, it's... Sorry, I'm talking too much again. But this is what it's about, isn't it? This is where, as yourself, you sort of were that a lot older, and you sort of went, oh, man. And this is where your passion extended from, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't... I'd quite happily say that prior to that, I'd never really given it, a great much thought. Like, you'd always hear stories of friends telling you weird stuff that they'd experienced, but, from my own point of view, I'd never given it a great deal of thought. But, I mean, that was it. I was thrust into a house and into a situation where that was happening, and, sort of that was my first big experience, my first eye-opener to the fact that there is a lot of stuff out there that we don't understand, so...
Yeah, well, that's right. There's a lot of stuff we don't understand, and what I have been noticing just quickly on Facebook and stuff like that is that there's been a lot of photos and information coming out that people have sworn black and blue that's a real deal, and unfortunately to say, a lot of it I've come across, and I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, mate, but a lot of it is, I think, is people grasping at straws to think that the stuff they capture or the information they received is actually paranormal. Like, they want it to be paranormal. They're bypassing the whole, let's look deeper into this first, and they're just throwing every bit of crap up on it at the moment, which, look, I can understand people doing that. I can understand they get excited, and I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying is, I've noticed in the last few weeks there's more and more stuff that's just been pumped out.
Yeah.
If they have these experiences, and some of them are pretty hardcore information, mate, you got to admit that. Some of it is like, how the hell did they get that? Or is that even possible? You know what I mean? You agree with me on that? Because I have...
I agree. Yeah. I think, a lot of people too, like 10 years ago, it was quite uncommon for people just to come straight out and tell you experiences that they'd had and, things that they'd seen, whereas it's much more in vogue now. People are much more open to that, to discussing it with, those around them. But because there is sort of, it's much more in vogue and people are much more open, I think a lot of people too really try and force it, to actually experience things and see things. And, I mean, like we've talked about many a time before on previous episodes, I think if you're wanting it to happen and, you're trying to will things to happen, that's generally when nothing will happen. It's more a matter of just sitting back and just letting it come to you. But, yeah, I think people, are fairly desperate to put their finger on everything that, every sort of little photo anomaly that they capture, and say, oh, that's definitely must be paranormal. But, it's unfortunately no one really sort of spends takes the 20 minutes of time out to actually analyse what they've got, and just use a bit of common sense and think about it first.
Well, that's the thing, but I have noticed a lot of the orb photos have died down. You notice that?
Yeah, it's only been, the last 3 or 4 months, but we went from having thousands of orb photos posted every second to,
all.
Any, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is, it sort of goes in fluctuations, does it? It's like 1 minute they're the hottest thing, next minute. I think people are starting to realise that through education and through learning different techniques and learning from other people, that they're starting to realise that, hey, these aren't a paranormal event, it's just dust and all this other stuff, which is great. People, I think, are really starting to take the time now to sort of go, oh, let's put the brakes on a little bit and let's not go down this track. But anyway, that's totally off subject. We're talking about our paranormal, goosey, spooky, shitty, arsey, crappy, pantsy experiences we've had. Now,
all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Now, so you had this experience in the house where you had saw this shadow figure jump over the counter, the kitchen counter, basically, and then you switch on the lights and it disappeared. What was your instant reaction then? What was your thought? Were you like shitting donuts, going, "What the fuck was that? What crap was dealing with?"
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a combined, kind of feeling, because in one, sort of one hand, that you've seen, you definitely know what you saw, but on the other hand, your rational part of your brain says, well, you couldn't have because there's nothing here. But, so you sort of, you put your pants as your, immediate sort of, immediate reaction, but then your logical brain goes, but why? Like, where did it go? But yeah, I mean, that's, if it had have just been that sort of one thing, like a black figure jump over the counter, you'd probably just, sort of believe it away and say, oh no, like you clearly must have just seen something. But in combination with everything else that was going on in the house, over a fairly long period of time, you sort of put everything together and say, well, that's there's enough evidence there, all in combination, to say that there's something else in the house with us.
I mean, that's the thing, where do you sort of go, okay, this is interesting, or no, I'm about to pack my bags and run out the door. With me being a kid, it was more to do with I really didn't have anywhere else to go. If you don't know, like I just go, oh, see you, Mum and Dad, I'm off, 10 to age of 5 and 6. I've had enough of this weird crap, I'm out of here. No, it didn't really work that way. It was very much, you sort of, it became, you become used to it. I know it's a sad thing to say, but you do. You come used to that sort of things. But the trouble is with me, it no matter where I've lived, I don't know if it's followed me or not, if in that sense, if you know what I mean. But I must say, the house I'm living in now is absolutely, to look at the house, you've seen my house. How gothic does it look?
Yeah, it's very gothic, all angly and...
Yeah, huge, massive house. Yeah, it's a big house, and it's very gothic looking. That's what I loved about it when I first saw it. It had these real high architrave ceilings, 4 stories high. It's a monster of a house. We're only renting it because we're building at the moment. But when I saw the house, I thought, oh yeah, this is a cool house. There'll be some shit going on down here. Nothing. Yeah. Not a thing. Yet every other house we've lived in since I was a kid, which it's always happened. I left that house and then I moved into Persehouse Street while Mum and Dad were building, and it was an old rental. So, it was not as weird as what Wood Street was at all. Yep. But a few bits and pieces things happen. So you used to see this thing crawling along the wall and stuff, and this big mass looked like it was actually crawling on the wall. And I used to sleep with a light on for years. I mean, because it used to petrify me. But when we moved in to the new house, we had a couple of odd things, nothing really, I call them just, your usual sort of footsteps and that type of thing. There wasn't anything that drastic. But it wasn't until I bought my first place, after I left home, I bought this unit in Ann Street in Gladstone. And it was a brand new, this is a weird thing, it was a brand new unit, absolutely brand spanking new. Man, my fiance at the time, we moved in there, and as soon as we moved in, shit was just going nuts. So, mate, we'd come down in the morning, all our furniture was rearranged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the furniture was...
Well,
We're talking lounge suites and dining table, but we didn't hear a thing at night. It got to a stage so bad for her that we had to move to my mum and dad's for a while. And it just freaked her out. Anyway, I had a friend of mine who was very, very good clairvoyant. And I thought, no, this has got to stop. You know, we bought this bloody beautiful brand new unit, and we're not living in it. We're paying for it. But it freaked out. But we went on holidays, and the front door was wide open, and all this other shit that used to go on. But the house was not touched, except for our furniture was upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean all this weird stuff. Like the bed. When we got back, the bed wasn't against the wall. It was all the way across the other side of the wall, leaning up against the wall. Now, no one broke in it just to do that to screw with us. It was just the way the house, that unit was. But no one else suffered anything at all.
Yep.
You know, my friend of mine lived in 2 units up, and she had no problems whatsoever. And it was the weirdest thing because when I don't know, I got my friend to come in and check it out, and she walked in and walked straight back out, and she didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't tell her anything. I just said, I want you to come over for a visit, yada yada. I wasn't going to tell her, I'm sort of like that, and she just took one footstep in and just reversed like she was a truck beeping out backwards. She was like pushes
at high speed.
At high speed, shit. I'm not going in there. I'm not sorry, Brad. I can't go in your house. I said, well, what's up? She said, no, I just can't come in. I went, oh, great, here we go. If she's picked up on something, this is going to be interesting. Anyway, so I did a bit of, I was lazy back then, so I did a bit of research, and I looked for local deaths and stuff like that in local area, and it turns out the house, the block of units were built on an old bit of farmland. Opposite, like old houses there, because you can dig through the records and stuff. It's all open access, and there was multiple suicides at this property. I'm talking multiple. There wasn't just one or two. There was multiple suicides over the years, recorded deaths in where we were.
Yeah.
But it's just always worried me. Why was it only ours? You know what I mean?
That's a big question, though, too. Is it that was the place haunted because of the suicides themselves, or was it something to do with that very specific spot of land? That had caused people enough distress that they committed suicide. So,
I don't know.
Itself that was holding them there.
Oh, I seriously do. To this day, I still have no idea what the go was, because, put it this way, got to a stage where we ended up selling it. We put it on the market, and I haven't, it's still there. I drove past it a little while ago when I was back home to visit Mum and Dad, because Dad bought a new boat because he's retired, so I had to go out on that and show him how to catch fish.
Yeah.
As a legend that I am, as it does. And anyway, so it's really weird, but one of the strangest incidences, I guess, when we moved to New Zealand, and I thought, I'll get away from all this, go to another country, leave it all behind me, type thing. You know what I mean? No.
Yep.
brand new friggin'. Well, it was only a couple of years old house, and I knew the first day I walked in there, it felt lovely and warm and secure, and I said, oh, this is the house for us,
Yeah. First
night, dude, my God. Same problem. I didn't sleep for 3 years. Seriously. Every night I was up because there was always something happening. I remember seeing this this figure of a Maori, and I've mentioned this before, like the top half of him just hovering above the bed and floating up off into the ceiling, so to speak. The thing with the yellow square eyes that was sitting in there, the side of me in the bed, just staring at me, and then knocked the missus out. Just weird, violent crap all the time, and you just wonder, is it certain people that just attract this stuff? You know what I mean?
There is, and I've always been a great believer of that too, that certain people, not so much, certain people being magnets, but I definitely think that, the ghosties that are out there, they know who knows. And I think generally if you're a bit more in tune with it, and especially if you're more accepting of it, and having done sort of bits of investigations and stuff, I mean, clearly, you stand out like a beacon of light. because obviously you accept it and you understand it to a certain degree. And I think that attracts a lot more spirits as well. I mean, for the most part, if you're going to try and get a message through or make contact, if you're a spirit, well, you're more than likely going to go and try and do it through somebody who understands you, rather than just sort of jumping out of the shadows at some random person and scaring the crap out of them.
Well, that's right. I mean, it still scared the crap out of me. I won't lie to you. There were certain periods and times, even with myself, man, it was just... I mean, I interviewed my parents and my sister a while ago. It was last year, because they were here for dinner. I said, no, I want to get you on the radio show because I want to explain to people that the stuff that I've talked about in the past did actually happen. And your mum and dad are telling the same stories. And I found out stories I never knew about.
Yeah.
The stuff that I had no idea that was going on when I was a young bloke, that I thought I knew it all. I knew squat what was really happening. So, and that's why we want people to realise that who listen to the show, we're not going to judge you for it. We've had our own experiences. We've dealt with them accordingly. I've grown up to accept that's a fact. This is what it is like for me. The house we're in now, no, it's fine. I mean, I can walk around this place in the pitch darkness, down multiple levels, different hidey holes. You know how big this house is.
Yeah.
And not a problem. I don't have an issue. The house in New Zealand, it was a 3-bedroom small house. And I would literally peep around corners, just to go from the bedroom to the kitchen at night time. You know what I mean? It was like, what's around there now type thing. That's what it was like in that house. And
wave white flag before.
Mate, it really did me head in there for a while, and it was just weird, but it wasn't like it stopped and started. It was all the friggin' time, day, night, didn't matter. But I never got it investigated because I'm dead against that. Investigating your own home, if you know what I mean. It would have been wonderful to do, but that's when I was doing Paranormal Haunted New Zealand, I think it was. It was a little TV show on Sky, little production thing, and I did everyone else's place but my own. I mean, and I got some really great stuff out in New Zealand. It was amazing how much weird shit was going on in that small country. But no, I never dreamed about doing my own place. Now we're building a new house, and I'm building a studio there. It's because it's going to be ours. It's going to be good. You know what I mean? It's never had anything on there. It's never had any other estates on there. It's a brand new estate. It's all bushland originally. So it'd be interesting to see, but I think it'll be pretty good, to be honest with you. I haven't got any funny... See, the thing is, people don't realise this, but everyone gets a vibe. You've walked into a house, haven't you, mate, and gone, wow, this is a nice place. I could live here. And other places you walk into, you just want to turn around and do what my friend did and just bolt out the door because there's something not right with it. People living there may not feel it, but you will.
Yeah.
Everyone's had that experience, and we want to hear about these experiences. Isn't that right, buddy?
Yeah, those hackles on the back of your neck moments.
Yeah, stand back on it. Anyway, I'm talking about myself again because I'm a tool. So when you... But what it's about, we're telling our stories. It's what me and you have experienced. And look at the times that we've gone out together and done different things. The amount of weird shit that we've come across, we just shake our heads. And honestly, mate, there have been times when my feet have just wanted to keep walking. I mean, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". I weigh 100 kilos. I'm no shrinking violet by any means. But there have been times that I've wanted just to keep walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're a little bit different. You're sort of let's stay here a bit longer. I'm going, I don't know, I think I might go. Type thing. Oh, mate, you name those experiences because we've had some friggin' doozies.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough we get to go to places that not many people do get to go to. And, tell our lovely Naked Zombie Army, mate. You've got a few stories about us that are just, I got the shivers. Ooh.
I still think that moment at Bellevue Homestead with the popping light, which is still one of the most amazing things I've ever seen or experienced.
Mate, it was an explosion.
Yeah. But I mean, just weird stuff like that. I mean, all of that stuff, ranges from anything from just the hair on the back of your neck standing up to, full blown stuff like that, light, exploding and crackling for
Mhm.
over 10 minutes afterwards.
And where the light got extremely bright, it was flickering every time we're asking questions. This was just a camera light. It wasn't hooked up to power. It had batteries in there. They were brand new batteries, and it was actually like we were talking to this freaking thing, and you could see the light reflecting on our faces, how bright it got. I'm actually in the process of getting some new software put on, because I changed all the software on my Mac over to the latest Lion version. It turns out it doesn't particularly like Final Cut Studio 2 because it's so freaking out of date. Yep. So now I've got to go and get myself the latest Final Cut so I can edit all the stuff and put it together. It's just I couldn't work out why I was having so many problems with it. But typical, upgrade something, you got to upgrade something else. It's just the way life is.
That's it. And
my wife keeps threatening to upgrade me all the time, but look what a cat she's got.
Just tell her it's going to cause her problems.
Yeah, that's right. It will cause her problems because I'll be hanging around outside with a big whopping lump of wood in my hand. Come here to play. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. So we had that experience. Now, with your side of things, buddy, as well, what has been one of the most hair-raising, I think I pooped myself experiences that you've had?
I don't know. Not so many poop yourself experiences, but really weird stuff. Probably one of the ones that stands out the most, probably almost the first time that me and a group of friends who, funnily enough, lived in that house, and that's what got us to it, but decided to go out and sort of brave the darkness and the cold to get and investigate, do our first investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bit of parkland, and I'd gone out during the day and sort of parkland out in the bush, just to have a quick look at it. And I'd come home, and the plan was that later that night we'd, 3 or 4 of us would go out and sort of check it out. And I mean, we had a couple of point and shoot cameras and torches, and I think that was about it, in the early stages.
The basics, yep.
Yeah, just the absolute basics. And I'd come home, and we planned to go out there, and there was a fairly long road, I guess 800 metres or 1,000 metres that you had to drive into the bush to get this little parkland. And we got about halfway up this sort of bush track road, and my friend's girlfriend started absolutely freaking out in the back of the car and said, I can't do this. So I pulled the car up, and we said, so everything okay? And she said, I know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to drive, another 500 metres up the road, and there's going to be this little sort of, pergola sort of picnic shed. And she absolutely, described this place down to a T, having never ever been there, and I'd not mentioned anything about it, when I'd gotten home that afternoon. But described this thing down to the finest detail. And I said, how do you know this? She said, I had a dream about this place last night, and we were all in the car, and we drove down, and we got down to this picnic shed and got out of the car, and this weird mist formed just in front of the picnic shed and sort of enveloped us all, and then these figures came out of the mist and started attacking us. And even at that stage I didn't say anything at all. I thought, well, I said, no, it's all going to be fine. It was just a dream. And this is in the middle of summer as well. And as you know, like tonight, we've got what's absolutely sweltering hot and humid.
I'm sitting here swimming in my own sweat at the moment. It's that hot.
Yeah, but we got down to this picnic shed, and as soon as she saw it, she freaked out even more, because it was exactly how she described it and pictured it in her dream. And I kid you not, in front of this picnic shed was this big area of mist forming. And so we turned the car around and drove away.
This isn't near Slaughter Falls, is it?
No, not near Slaughter Falls. Bit further out west than that. But I mean, just in the middle of summer to have, and it was like a pea soup style, winter mist forming, and 30 something degrees.
Yeah.
But the fact that she she described this down to the most intricate detail, and had never been there, nothing, but had dreamt it, which was just one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen as well. It's that she'd actually dreamt exactly what we were going to do, what the conditions were going to be like. But to get down there and see the mist, it was like, well, that's close enough for me. I think we'll turn the car around and leave, because I don't want to take the risk of hopping out and getting attacked by, fog creatures. So,
well, speaking of being attacked and fog creatures, I mentioned Slaughter Falls before, and people are probably going, what the hell is Slaughter Falls? If you're not from this area, you probably have no idea what it is. Put it this way, the story goes at Slaughter Falls that no one can spend a night out there. Isn't that right?
That's right.
That's the stories. Now, I haven't been there. You've been there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been there many
times. I was thinking maybe we should get now. The story of Slaughter Falls is there's a lot of suicides there. A lot of people take themselves out there and do themselves in, basically, and people who try to camp out there can never stay the night because of all the weird shit that happens. What I'm thinking about is, mate, I've just had this amazing idea, because you know what I'm like, just these amazing ideas pop in my head all the time. Like, yep. I might wear 2 different shoes today, both on the left feet, these amazing. I reckon we should get a few of the Naked Zombie listeners who live in the Brisbane area or who can come, and we'll plan in the next couple of months that we go out to Slaughter Falls for the night. Have a few of us, have about 10 of us, all go out there and see what we experience for ourselves. What do you reckon?
I think it sounds like a plan, so we'll look into it and tee it up.
We're looking forward. So if you're interested in coming out to Slaughter Falls with myself, Liam, hopefully Wadsy, if we can drag him out there.
Screaming?
Yeah, kicking and screaming. Now, like I said, Slaughter Falls is a camping, well, it's not really a camping area, it's an area where it's not far from Brisbane. It's in Brisbane, basically, but it's a little bit out. But it's the amount of people that just take themselves out there to top themselves, and the amount of people who have tried to stay out there who just pack up the car and bolt during the night, who will not camp there. And a lot of the locals won't even go out that way, will they?
No, and there's the one big story that comes from Slaughter's Falls, in the fact that, and it's an urban legend, but it is based on an element of truth. However, the story is that some years ago a young girl was murdered out there, and was hung up in a tree, and a lot of people who go out there. Are you there?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm here. You're right.
Yep. I was going to say, we'll just cut that. I just got a flash up saying that my internet connection dropped, but I don't think it did.
No, it didn't, mate. That's right. We'll just keep going. Okay. It's Skype. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's it. But the major story of Slaughter's Falls is that a young girl some years ago was murdered out there, and she was hung up in a tree. And a lot of people say that when they go out to Slaughter's Falls and drive into that area at night time, they'll hear screaming as they drive into the roadway there, and a young girl will come bursting out of the bushes and run alongside the car, banging on the windows, begging to be let in the car and rescued. So, and that's the big story. That's gotten around for, probably the last 10 odd years.
10 odd years, yeah. But then she just disappears, eh? She's like, she's gone. That's the thing. She like, I've heard similar stories. So, man, I've got goosebumps. Seriously, I got the goose pimples really bad. So imagine a group of us and a group of Naked Zombie listeners going out and checking this place out for ourselves. Huh? You in?
I'm in.
Okay, so what we do,
like
if you guys are interested, please let us know and put yourselves down as just email us attention to Slaughter Falls, either the Facebook page or Liam's page or the Naked Zombie website, and just title it Slaughter's Falls, leaves your name and contact details, and when we actually go ahead and do it, we'll get in contact with you, as we'll get a date organised and we'll head out there. As long as you've got a bit of camping gear for yourself and your own equipment, and we'll meet in Brisbane and we'll all drive out there in our own cars and stuff, and if you want to go during the night, you'll be labelled as a pussy for the rest of your life, and I'll probably be one of those labelled as a pussy.
Well, as long as we don't get eaten by dingoes, so.
Look, I think I'm a bit big
So
for
a rumour.
dingo bait. We won't take young Andrew out because he's probably dingo bait size. Hey, I think now we should mention our little thing. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we should.
We've only got another about 15 minutes tonight. Show time has just flown as it always does. Now, me and Liam had a big discussion today because we're partners, not partners to say we don't cuddle, partners in
Tell everybody.
Oh, sorry, I can't help it. Partners in the tour business, which is we are in the process that is happening. So don't think it's not. It is. We just got a lot of stuff to sort out because we've got roadblocks left, right, and centre at the moment.
Yeah.
But we are partners in that, and also, because of the radio show and everything, we have decided that we're going to have an extra guest host come on the show. We have made a decision that we need someone to do the Wednesday night shows with myself. And this person, this is the thing, this person who does the Wednesday night show of the Naked Zombie will be a fixture each Wednesday night. And you got to have your shit organised. That's the only thing. And this person has to be adapting movies, TV, gaming, all the cool stuff to do with the geeky stuff that people love. Horror movie, all the good stuff that people just rave about. And this show is going to be a Wednesday night show all about what's coming up, reviews on a book they might have read or a movie they've gone and seen. Gaming, they've got to be into gaming because a lot of people listen to the show love gaming as well. Like Dead Space 3 is coming out next month. I love that sort of thing. I'm right into it. So if you are that person and if you think you can fill the boots to be a host on the Naked Zombie Radio, now it doesn't matter where you live, and I don't care where you live in the world, as long as you can do the show on a Wednesday night, 8:30 Brisbane Eastern Standard Time. So whether you live in Australia or overseas, I don't really care. But if you can do that for me, we don't pay you because, A, we don't get paid and we have no money anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're happy to be on the show, you'll get your picture on there, you get a bit of a write-up about you, and you get a weekly spot on a Wednesday night with me going into all the stuff that look, everyone has a fascination with that. Don't you agree with me, mate?
Yeah, they do. So every time we've brought it up, there's other episodes, especially like old movies and new movies. It's been fantastic. Everyone's put their 2 cents worth in. So
that's right, but you've got to be a connoisseur of this type of thing. That's what we want. We want someone who's got the knowledge and experience and has the fortitude, I guess is a good way to put it, that they're going to stick it out and be part of it, because each one of the zombie hosts have put a lot of time and effort into doing the show. Liam travels a long way every Thursday night. Wadsy just travels. He doesn't listen to the show anyway. I don't know. He just comes along and does it and disappears. No, Wadsy's cool. I've known Wadsy a long time. He helped me get it started here in Australia. So and of course Andrew comes in when he can, but he does a lot of work on the back end of things. He really does put a lot of effort into getting stuff organised to keep it running and stuff like that. So if you think you are that person, male or female, I don't care. If you think you are that person that would like to be a part of the Naked Zombie Radio family and get out and about and be part of what we do, we would love to hear from you. You can go to the Naked Zombie website. You're probably on there now listening to this. Go to the contacts page and put down host as the thing. And now I'm going to put this on the Facebook page. I'm also going to put it on the Naked Zombie website tonight. And don't forget to, if you do listen to the show, we are trying to get 10,000 likes by the end of the week. Bugger it. I don't pay for likes. I'm sorry, I won't do that. But I do like to think that people who listen to the show do share it with their friends and stuff like that. We get so many listeners each week that it's just mind-blowing. But we like to see, we look, the fan site was basically set up so everyone had a chance to talk and leave us messages, and which has happened. But we'd like to see more interaction with people who write into us and give us information and stuff. We love that stuff. We love information overloads. This is what we do. If I can't get to it, Liam will. That's what it comes down to. Then that's how we work the show. So there you go. We are looking for someone. How does that sound? You happy with that, Liam, aren't you?
I'm very happy. So someone special to take up some of the reins would be fantastic.
Because we want to start producing the show more. Yeah, we can't do it 7 nights a week. We would love nothing more to do that, but we work. We have normal jobs. Yeah, we do it in our own time, yada yada yada, and all the rest of the crap that goes with it. But if this works, yes, there will be more episodes, more shows coming out, and if we can nail 5 nights a week, I'll be stoked. And that's what we will be aiming for later on, is doing it 5 nights a week. But we need the content. We need the assistance of our listeners to help us do that.
Yep.
And to feed us the information, give us the stories, give us the information you got out there, give us anything regarding, it doesn't necessarily have to be just about the paranormal. It could be a friggin' cool story. That's what I mean. It's all about all the weird shit out there that people just fall over and love, so we want to hear from you. And if you've got a guest idea, send it in. Or if you want to be a guest on the show, if you're going to make an interesting story, I'll interview you. Monday nights is usually a good night to do the interviews. Late at night, do the interviews Monday night, and we'll take it from there. And we'll wait and see what happens. How does that sound, big boy?
I think it sounds brilliant. So we'll kick it into overdrive and get a few more episodes happening every week for everyone out there. It'd be great.
Yeah, because people do like the show. They write in and say, Brad, please throw yourself under a bus. Since I've listened to you, I've lost all hearing and sensibility of purpose. So great emails like that, and that's what we want to hear.
But we do get the one nice one in amongst the thousands.
Yeah, sometimes we get we get a lot of nice emails. And if you just want to say hello, we don't bite. Just email us or get on the fan site and just say g'day, such and such. We'd love that stuff. We'd love to hear from our audience. We'd love to hear what people are doing and what they're up to.
Yep.
The show was done, basically, we do it for our own enjoyment, but we also do it for you guys out there who are listening. We want to hear from you guys as well. We want to hear what you have to say and what you think. We'd love it. We love getting the feedback, because it means, if you got an idea you want to hear about the show, let us know. If you something you don't like, let us know, type thing. I'd just like to congratulate Whisper on their recent launch of their program they are doing. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I got on my high horse last week and had a good rant about these groups flogging TV shows to the networks without any sort of knowledge or forethought of what they're doing. I love what Whisper are doing. I am fans of theirs. I have no problems in saying I love what they do, because they are getting off their own friggin' back and doing it themselves. They're not relying on networks and all this other shit to try and make it happen. They're doing it themselves. They're working friggin' hard. So big round of applause. I'll throw in a big yay here, and good on you guys from Whisper. I think that's excellent. I'm impressed. If get off your ass and do it yourself. That's what I mean. That impresses me. Relying on other people to do your shit for you, no, doesn't impress me at all.
Yeah, and believe me, it's the only way that it's going to happen. So, it's requesting 1 million likes on Facebook in the hope that a TV station might give you a break's not going to work. Hats off to anyone who really gets out there and drives it home themselves and puts in the hard yards.
Yeah, or you can go and buy your own likes. I hear that's possible nowadays. What do you reckon? Should I just go and spend a couple of $100 on likes? Yeah, no. That's to me. Sorry, I find that a bit of bullshit. I find that why pay for something that I don't know. I just can't get my head around it. If I had one person who liked the fan side, I'd be happy. We're up to 8,000 now, and I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'd love to see more, but that's just, you guys out there just letting people know about the show. Look, if you enjoy it, let other people know about it. Yeah. I don't send out bulk emails to people saying, hey, come listen. I don't do that. The only thing I do is I'll just ask people, hey, if you like the show, let your friends know, and that's it. You won't see bulk emails going out saying, come and check out this, come and check out that. No, I don't do shit that way. I do not have the time, and I just could not be stuffed at the end of the day. People will find it themselves, but if you know someone who loves this sort of thing, send them our way. Give them the website details, so they can have something to listen to. Yeah. Hey, guess what? We've rabbled on for shit now for an hour. Do you know that?
Wow.
I know.
As we do. Look at that.
Kind of spooky in a way, isn't it? Anyway, so breakdown of tonight's show. If you want to be a host, there you go. You can be a host on our show if you've got the credentials. And I'm sorry if you do apply for the position and you don't get it. Don't take it personally. It's the fact I just don't like you. No, that's terrible. Liam, that's a terrible thing to say. We want to see, people who have a bit of personality, and please, if you want to send me a short 3-minute MP3 of what you can do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
email me a short MP3.
5-minute compromising video CV.
Yeah, video CV, any way you want. Send us something that I think I'll get it. I mean, we do this for fun and we do it for shits and giggles. But we do it for our own enjoyment. We do it because we like to be like to entertain people and stuff like that. So don't forget, Slaughter Falls is coming up. We want to get out there. We want to take some zombie listeners with us to experience it for ourselves and for me to experience for the first time. Roddy House, what else is there? Cool stories. If you want to send us in cool stories as well, you know what to do. So Tuesday night will be freaky ass, creepy ass, shit ass story night for the listeners. Hey?
I said you got there in the end.
I got there in the end. I'm getting old and tired. It's been a crap of a week with all the flooding and shit. And don't forget, if you're overseas, you do listen to this, please spare a thought, for your fellow human beings that are going through hardship and bad times at the moment, no matter where they are. If you have someone is suffering a bit, or if you think they need a bit of a shout out, please let me know. We have a massive audience, and if I can get that information out there in some way or form that hopefully will do some good, look, just email us, let us know. We don't bite. Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Wodsy bites.
We're trying to stop him.
We're trying to stop him, but it's not working. Anyway, Liam, thank you again for joining us on The Naked Zombie, mate, as always.
Thanks, as always.
No, you're such a superstar. And thank you, everyone who's tuned into tonight's show. Look, this was just get it out there for you guys to know what we're doing and stuff like that. And we had a bit of fun with it, of course, tonight, as we always do. And don't forget that things are better when we work together. Hey? Was that deep or what? I made that up right then. I'm like a machine of knowledge.
You should put that on a T-shirt.
What did I say? I forgot. What would I say? Things work better if we work together. Man, that sounds like... So, that's real sad. Anyway, thank you. You've been listening to The Naked Zombie. Thank you again for joining us, Liam. You are a superstar as always. And I'd like to thank you. And I'd like to thank our audience, The Naked Zombie Army. Without you guys, this show would not be possible, and we'd just be hiding in dark alleys doing stuff to ourselves. So have a good night, have a safe night, and if you're out doing nasty things to other people, stop it, because I have said so. I'm Brad Scott, and you've been listening to The Naked Zombie.